What generation are you from?
X on the cusp, almost millennial.
What do you think is the appropriate use of AI in the workforce?
Whatever gets the job done and doesn't hurt anyone else.
What do you use AI for in the workplace if you use it for anything?
I use it for many things to design, for example, some of the concepts and the wording behind Gen Zen to clear my mind. So I use it as a coach for myself. I don't use it to write because I love to write whatever I write in the post myself, even if a couple of times I tested the response of the people just to see if I put there out there content entirely generated by AI, how people were responding, and I noticed a difference.
Last question. Do you think that other generations would answer differently from you?
I think so. Anecdotally, statistically, from research, absolutely yes.
Technically Gen Z, but probably feel more like a millennial crossover, I suppose. A bit of I'm on that transition side. It's definitely an appropriate use. It's good for making things a lot more efficient in terms of writing content. I think there's loads of uses to just help make everyone's work a bit easier. Personally, I would use it kind of to help with itineraries for trips. So I like to travel, so I would use it to help me kind of condense an itinerary or get ideas for where to go. Work sense, I would use it to help write maybe complex emails or help write content for maybe webinars, advertising, that kind of thing. I think more people are beginning to use it across all generations, but maybe they haven't kind of realized the full scope of how they can use it yet.
I am Generation Z. I think in the workplace, using AI can be good to make tasks that are more simple, such as make a list of all these people, or something that would take someone a few hours to do could be done in an hour or seconds with AI. I think that doing tasks like that is really useful. Right now, I have used it just yesterday to help create a list of journalists that I can reach out to. I put in the prompt of find journalists that will cover this, this, and this, and it made a list. And then I took that list and on my own, I researched the people. But it gave me a really good starting point rather than just kind of doing a general search. I think that Gen Z is definitely more, I feel like, willing to use AI. I think some of the older generations are interested and definitely can use it. I think it's very easy. But I think that just kind of like anything, sometimes the older generations take more time to catch on to the new stuff.
I guess millennial. I think I think the discussions at the conference and what a lot of people say is is still a decision sort of support tool. So humans are still the key decision makers. So AI informs you on the choices you make. I think that should remain the case until we reach a level where we are comfortable with automated decisions from AI. So a lot of like the your LLMs, anything that's to kind of ping back on ideas, or if I'm drafting something, I'll put it through your LLMs to kind of give it a new spin, or maybe a touch of formality, or make it a little bit less formal, and then I take it away, and I never use the end product. It's just a soundboard, and I think it's been working very well. I think a lot of my colleagues and peers use it in the same way. But of course, there's a lot of automation as well, which is not as intelligent, but I think they make day-to-day operations in their working life, or even their daily life scheduling and stuff like that, which is quite useful. It might not be classified as AI, but I mean, it serves the purpose of just outsourcing it to a software and a tool. I think just observing the trends, like in my span on Earth, I think people kind of change their opinions over time. I don't know if the word is get jaded, but even as a young person kind of growing up and wanting to adopt change quickly, and then you kind of hit the roadblock of society and the entrenched system. So but I'm always kind of positive, and hope that the young folks will always be the driver of change. So that's your Gen Z and your Gen Alpha and not to be as jaded. So I'm sure that there'll be change, and it's just keeping at it, And I think AI is again a tool in the toolbox to help us focus on things that are more important, like your peers, your people, and improving the human experience overall.
I'm from Generation Z. Some things you could use it for is cheating. Like, I'm a university student and I see a lot of people use it to write their essays. But I do think it can be a great starting point for research and to help you reword things. It helps a lot with tone. Like, you can ask it, is this a good tone for my email? Like, what tone does this give off? How can I make this more professional? I think AI has a lot of really good professional uses that can make things more productive in a lot of spaces, but especially the workforce. I use AI for a lot of things, personally, professionally. But what I most like to use it for is to make my meal plans and my grocery planning. I think it's a really good example of how AI can make things so much quicker, save you a lot of time, and so you can have more time to spend time with others and interact in the human world and get things done really quickly. And then you get a bunch of time to use that information it gives you and be creative with it. So that's like one of the main things I use it for. I think a lot of generations might have like a general sentiment towards AI, but there are definitely outliers. Like, for example, in my generation, a lot of people openly use AI, they love it, but there are a few who don't like it and they think that they should never use it and it shouldn't be a thing. So, yeah, I mean, in general, sometimes people are going to all answer the same in Gen Z, but again, there's going to be some outliers, and it's the same with the rest of generations.
I was born in 2003. I think there's definitely an appropriate use of it. I think it makes a lot of work more automated and a lot easier. I mostly use it to help out with college, so it's very useful for coming up with ideas for writing essays and that kind of thing. I think maybe the older generation might disapprove of it, but I think it's going to gain a lot more popularity and will be used a lot more in the next couple of years.
I am Gen Z. So I think there are a lot of things like efficiency wise that are simple tasks that should be automized, but I think some more generative tasks should be kept to individual use. Yeah, I use it a lot in my personal life, academic life, work life. I'll use it again to do things like make meal preps or figure out a workout split. I also like for school, if I'm reading a series of 30-page academic articles, I'll put them into ChatGPT and I'll ask, can you summarize this for me? I won't write a paper based off that summary, but I'll see, is this paper worth spending 2 hours making my way through, or is it going to be fruitless and I should look in a different direction for evidence for my paper? Or maybe I'm 50 words over and I'd say, could you point out some sections where I could maybe cut down the word count? What's overly wordy? But I'm not comfortable using it for things like, can you write these 2 paragraphs for me? So that's kind of where my balance is. I think it depends on the person. I think there are going to be some generational differences. I think generally younger people are a little bit more comfortable using AI than old generations, but I don't think it's monolithic. I think there are a lot of young people that aren't comfortable with it. I think there are a lot of older people that are seeing it as new and exciting and a way to change up their work they've been doing for a while. So